Season 10 of Apex Legends, called Emergence, is right around the corner, and with that comes the shiny new thing that is ranked arenas. So, let's talk about the best legends for ranked arenas, or just the best legends for arenas. Here are going to be my top 8 legends for this mode, so that then you guys can just pair them up however you guys want. And I really want to make the video just to give you guys the handful of legends to focus on, and then pick y'all's 3, and then strategize from then on. So, with that being said, let's dive into the video. Before we start with this list, if you guys enjoy ranked guides, solo queue guides, ranked tips, ranked live streams, anything related to ranked or competitive Apex, remember to hit that subscribe button because you're going to find that and much more on this channel. So now let's move on. So from what I've been reading about ranked arenas, the thing that's going to matter the most when ranking up is going to be winning. Not damage, not kills. That's not going to matter other than, winning rounds with that stuff. But at the end of the game, winning is what's going to rank you up faster, and even if you lose a few, apparently it's not going to hurt you as much. We'll see once it gets going. So now, the first of the 8 legends I want to talk about is going to be the newest legend, Seer. I believe Seer is going to be super strong, and if you want my opinion on how I think he fits into the BR, remember to check out my best legends for ranked on World's Edge video for season 10. Thumbnail will be here. So, is Seer good? Yes, in arenas, his passive is the heartbeat sensor. So by aiming without even a gun or with a gun, he can literally see little arrows pointing to the enemies up to about 75 meters. He can be behind cover or not behind cover. So that information is always there, and if you have a mic, if you're communicating, pinging, you can literally be telling where people are running just by that. So it is very strong and it's free. You don't have to spend anything on it, So you can consistently be gaining information. If his tactical is aimed correctly, it allows you to give a scan in a direction, which would also then cancel anyone that's trying to heal, res, or use an ability, which would be huge when you're trying to push a knock or someone that is very low. It also, I think, does 10 damage. His ultimate also gives you a huge dome of a ton of info, which unless the other team is crouch walking or just standing still, you should get tons of info on what the legends are. Which, it still tells you, but you can see who the legends are, where they're at, where they're moving, all of that information. So it is super strong for any mode, and especially in arenas where knowledge is a ton of power. So this will probably lead to him being picked a little bit more than Bloodhound in this mode. But again, we know that in a team or solo queuing, having information on the team is extremely needed and powerful. And since I just mentioned Hound, let's talk about Hound. So now, Bloodhound. Basically, Bloodhound gives you a ton of information with the scans, while in Ultimate, or just regular scans. And like I just said, it's very powerful to give that much information, so much so that in the last competitive arenas tournament that they had, the players in it decided to just ban Bloodhound, as they didn't want anyone having that extra information knowledge. So it just goes to show you how much they respect Bloodhound's scans, and I think Seer is going to be along the lines of exactly kind of Bloodhound, but I think a better version of Bloodhound. So I think Seer is better, but I still think Bloodhound's information and what it can give you as a team, if you're solo queuing or in a team, is very strong. So I think Bloodhound is still a great pick. So moving on, we're going to move on to Lifeline, AJ Shea. Now we have Lifeline, her strong suit is her passive, which allows a res with her drone, though it does not have the shield anymore. It's still a res by herself, by itself, just a drone. And pair this with a gold bag, and she can be extremely annoying and can turn the tide of any fight. Her drone can also heal your team, and in arenas, which is a mode where resources are very important, having a legend that can heal your team very fast is super nice. While her care package does give you a random gun and 2 shield bats, it can also serve as cover, though it obviously gives away your position of where you are. But her big downside is that I've seen at higher level ranks, when people get that one knock, they usually push immediately, and they don't really give enough time for that res with the drone to even get off, especially with no shield. They can easily just finish the legend. So I did see that at higher ranks she was a little ineffective, but I still think she's a very solid pick, and I think a solid pick for anyone that's maybe not at the higher ranks. So I think she's still pretty good, and she has a lot of versatility. So now let's get to the first movement legend of this list, Pathfinder. Pathfinder's main strengths are going to be his zipline, for moving your whole team, quickly to height. And on some of these maps and arenas, taking height is super important. So that's Pathfinder's main strength, is that zipline. And also, his grapple is very good for getting you in and out of sticky situations very fast. You can be aggressive, get the knock, and then kind of swing back out of there. With that being said, let's move on to another movement legend, which is going to be Wraith. Her strength here is her ability to really just go into the void. Her other abilities, such as her portal, being told that someone's aiming at her, don't really matter in this mode. So what you really want to do with her is you want to push, you want to be aggressive. You want to get a knock or do a lot of damage and then queue back to safety and heal up if you lost a little bit of damage. But mainly on Pathfinder or Wraith, you want to be a little bit more aggressive. You want to be the one dishing out damage, and then when you get a knock, when you're low, you want to grapple back or queue back. So that's really what you want to do with those two legends. So mainly, if you have an aggressive player on your team, you want them to be on one of these types of legends. But again, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, remember to subscribe. It helps me out a lot on the road to partner. I think the content in this little guy is kind of worth it. So let's continue and let's move on with the next one. The next legend here is going to be Loba. Loba's next, and her strength is similar to Pathfinder and Wraith, as she can get out of a situation. Granted, not as fast because, you know, she like stands a little still while her bracelet hits the ground. But it's still a very reliable, you know, way to get away. And the other thing is that she can nab heals and guns from care packages with her ultimate. So, you know, you can always put that loot strain on the other team and always have, you know, more meds, more heals, have maybe a better secondary gun, stuff like that compared to the other team. And if the team is maybe not that experienced, you can maybe nab all the heals and they're just kind of screwed once, you know, especially if the match drags out, you'll always have a heals advantage. The seventh legend, the second to last legend here, is going to be Bangalore. Her strength here really revolves around her smoke grenades. So if you're ever in trouble or want to sneak around undetected, you want to use her smoke to devise attack strategies for your team, allow you ways to push safely or get back safely. Really, the smoke is everything around Bangalore. Her passive is also nice, that it allows you to move fast when you're being aimed at or shot at. But mainly, a lot of the strategies I've seen revolve around her smoke grenades and either the team pushing through them, being able to push up, getting back to safety. So they really use and abuse that. So on the other hand, maybe get a Digi if you're struggling with a Bangalore. And the final legend on this list is going to be Gibraltar. You know, he's a tank. We all know this. His gun shield being there allows him to take damage without needing to use heals. So again, in this mode that uses a lot of resources, and resources are very important, his gun shield being able to eat a little bit of damage for free is super nice. His dome also allows you to maybe push one guy safely, or, you know, kind of fence him off from his team so you can take a one-on-one in the bubble. It also allows your team to heal if you're in trouble or traverse an area safely. So he keeps your team alive longer and not use as many resources as you might need, while also still being a nightmare to 1v1. And with that, those are my top 8 legends. I hope you guys take this, implement it in ranked arenas, and get up to whatever rank you want to achieve. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe. Check out the live streams here on YouTube. You don't gotta go anywhere. And go check out my best legends for ranked on World's Edge for Season 10 around here.